riding a little bit, but mostly for work. You know, that's the only way we could do our work was with the horses at that time. And we had cows for milk and all of everything that goes with milk, cheese and butter and cream, all the good things. And when we had our sheep, we used the wool at that time to make batting with the cords that they used at those times to make bats to put on the quilts, the frame. They still do it today, I guess, but I don't know that they have quilting pads that they use. They have just like that already. We had apples and pears mostly. Of course, we had a lot of other kind of apples. We had satsuma plums, and it's a big red plum. It's real red and juicy and good. We had some of those, and of course we had other kinds of fruit too. There was peaches, and of course I mentioned apples and pears, that they were the main things, the apples and pears. Apples were delicious apples. Picking and drying fruit and sweet corn, and we raised beans and harvested them, and we made sorghum, and of course that was from the planting it and right all the way through and making it into sorghum. Of course we had bees too, and we made honey, so we had plenty of honey, and we were picking fruit for market and butchering animals mostly for our home use was the animals we used, because we didn't sell those, I don't think. Whatever you want to call it, the whole pig. We used to put that up with salt and sugar and a little saltpeter so it'd cure, and put it in a barrel. I still have some of the barrels that we used to put it in and keep it all winter long. It'd keep all winter long, and we had that. And the other meat, we'd bottle that if we wanted to keep it for a period of time. We'd bottle it. So we had plenty of good food to eat all the time, raised lots of vegetables, melons and all of that kind of stuff. So,
use our songs because you see them out there quiet, you know, and what that's not the whole process. It was singing, and singing is a major part of all cultures. When you're doing some type of craft or making something or talking to it, you know. And I know we probably already lost the songs, but I mean any song would help, I think. I brought that up because my grandfather used to always sing. He used to always sing no matter what he was doing. In the morning, my grandma used to sing while she was cooking, you know, and my grandfather used to sing every now and then you know, just about, you know, the day and the materials that he used. He used to sing, but that stuff I really never paid close attention to. I just liked the way he sounded when he sang. I think that's kind of what we're missing too with our songs, because it does do that. All our Southern Paiute culture teaches us that everything is living, especially water, and nobody owns water because our body is water. So who owns who?
Thankful that I'm still living here so I can enjoy these things, even though I don't get around very much anymore, like the song says.
Well, I spent a lot of time outside. I especially loved the hills in front of my place. I could wander the hills and go all the way down to my Aunt Geneva Johnson's, who lived right back of where the Shell station is now. Just climb the hills looking for wildflowers. I love to look for sago lilies and Indian paintbrush and slippery elm and lady slippers, and there were a lot of them around then. We'd go up on the hills and make playhouses in among the sagebrush. I remember that my brother just older and I and my best girlfriend and her brother used to go up on the hill just in front of my folks' place, and we'd made a little house in amongst the sagebrush, and the boys had brought some rocks and built a little fire thing, and we brought some hamburger and some potatoes and a frying pan, and we'd cook our supper up on the hill. Got a lot of sand in it, but it tasted awful good. And we used to do that quite a bit. Did you ever eat bottle stoppers?
I've heard a lot about them.
That was another thing we liked to do when we'd go on the hills, is hunt for bottle stoppers and eat them.
Pull them out of the
Just
ground?
pull them up and eat them.
And what do they taste like?
I can't even remember.
A little bulb type thing?
They were on a stem like that, but they had little things that went up them that kind of pooched out. But we thought they were good. lot of things were in bulk when we had the store then. I can remember Dad kept a tin so big around of fresh coconut. It was inside the heavy waxed paper, and he kept that right down under the cash register. And he used to tell my older brother and me when we were working the store, now you kids stay out of the coconut. But oh geez, it was tempting to just lift that lid up, just take a pinch. We did a lot of dancing in those days. We were taught how to dance in primary, and I think I've really felt bad when they changed primary to Sunday, because the children now don't know how to dance. All of those old dances like the Virginia reel and the schottisch and different ones like that, it was exciting. We had that. We'd get together and go to the park, like I've said before, and have cookouts. I just had a wonderful childhood.
We had the first J.H. ale in the country. Of course, the Alberta peach was quite common already. And other names, that's about the only name I ever heard for a peach is the Alberta. Except we had 2 or 3 kinds of cling peaches. We call the Heath cling. It was a big, beautiful, white, beaded peach, and they were my favorite. They'd ripen very late in the summer, October. And let's see, some of the other things I remember, he had a Sneed. That was an early ripening peach, just a table peach. It wasn't preserving peach. Several other kinds, and I've forgotten had a little kind of a red skin peach that ripened in May that was very tasty, little fellow, and I can't remember the name of that. But no, I don't remember names of too many of them. We had one they called the Osage. It was a yellow peach. It was a good bottler. But my family liked either the Albertas or the J.H. Hale peach mostly. Then there was a peach that I hope that it hadn't become extinct. Did you ever hear of an Indian cling? They're a small peach and very red. If you can just take a thin peeling off, then it's almost blood red on the outside of the meat. And it's a kind of a strong tasting peach. I mean, it's very flavorful. And it's acidy. I heard my mother say one time they put some in a big, I think a 5-gallon tin, and it ate through the acid of it, ate through the tin. But those things, they'd make a kind of a pickled peach out of that, pickled spicy preserve. And it was just the best in the world, the best preserves I've ever eaten. The last of those I ever saw, my cousin Lucy Schieffer had a tree of them as late as in the 1970s, and I used to go and get a few of those peaches to have my wife make some jam out of them in the fall. But, oh, what beautiful little fruit. Oh, and there's another. Now about the only kind of nectarine you see on the market is the big yellow, and they're big as baseballs. My dad had about a half a dozen trees, and they're rather large trees of a white nectarine, and they didn't get to be very big fruit. 1 1.5 inches, well, about the size of a golf ball was standard size for those nectarines. But they were one of our favorite drying fruit. We dry those by the bushels. And also, there again, they make the best preserves. They're just wonderful fruit for preserve. And I like those much better than I like the, well, we just don't buy any of these modern.
Quick, quick! This way! Quick!